Hey, what's up, Snorlax Nation? What's up, YouTube? Thank you so much for tuning in today again. And as promised, Thursday is our deck building night. So today I am going to showcase my main hitter, my Snorlax deck. Heck, this is the reason why we even built a nation, right? Because the Snorlax is gonna be the best nation ever in the world. Yes, it will combine everybody. So without further ado, stay tuned. And here's how I build my deck. See you later.
Hey, what's up, Snorlax Nation? What's up, Nation? And what's up, YouTube? Thank you so much for tuning in to today. And today, it is all about my new Snorlax deck. As I described to you guys earlier, I'm building Snorlax deck for competitive because, hey, we're the Snorlax Nation. That's what we do. So today, I'm going to do a rundown of what are the cards that are currently in my deck. Now, I wouldn't say it's complete because, well, we're always missing the Shamans. And because with the new Sun and Moon coming out, the new rotation, there might be a couple cards I want to slip in. For example, Lil, always a great card to start. I'll probably put one of them in once the Sun and Moon becomes a new standard. And of course, Professor Kukai. This is such a great card. I mean, draw 2 cards, do this turn your opponent attacks 20 more damage. Sometimes just that extra hit that the Snorlax need. And one more card I might consider putting in there is a new Nazball. I'm sorry it's not the secret rare, but it's a great card to get it started. It might replace the level ball that you see later, but these are some cards in Sun and Moon that I might consider putting in later. Now, I haven't gone through all the cards for Sun and Moon. These are just a few cards from the pre-release that I found was really helpful for my deck. But without further ado, let's go through my deck currently. Now, the deck really focuses on exactly. Let's go through the Pokemon first. Now, my main hitters, of course, is a Snorlax. With this pulverizing Pancake GX move, Thunderous Snorclap, you usually take out a lot of the opponent's EXs. And what does I usually run 3. So my main starters are the 3 Snorlax. And sometimes I don't like to get too many Snorlax out there because they take a lot of energy. I mean, like 5 energy for one. It's a little costly, but you know what? I'll show you how I usually power it up. Now, of course, I can't just use Snorlax as my. Sometimes Snorlax doesn't work out so much because it's weak against fighting. Sometimes what I do is I get 2 backup Pokemon to help me assist, and that one is a Darkrai, and the second one is Yveltal. Now, as you can tell, I'm running the Dark Energy, which I will show you later. The Dark Head right here for Darkrai works really well if the opponent is asleep, and you'll see why. And the other one, Yveltal, great way to start off, and also just move energy from White Cyclone to my Snorlax on the bench. So usually I start out with a Yveltal in front, and then with Snorlax on the bench, move my energy back, and it's a really efficient way to go. So these are my backup hitters, just in case my Snorlax is benched or anything like that. Now, you ask, Tony, Pulverizing Pancake or the Thunderous Snore, it requires you to be asleep. How do you put them to sleep? Now, of course, we have these 2 lovely cards right here. The Drowsies doesn't really matter, but you know what? This is the one, Hypno. It is the Goodnight Baby sleep, and it puts both active Pokemon to sleep. So you can always use your Thunderous Snore every single time. So these are my support cards, or support Pokemon that always sits on the bench. 4 cards right here. I usually run the 2-2 in case, sometimes you get unlucky, get bench one, then this deck doesn't really work well. Now those are my Pokemon. As you can tell, I only run 3, 2, and 4. So that's 9 Pokemon in total. Now, what are the energy I run? First of all, I run 4 DCEs, Double Colors Energy. These are so critical to this deck. If powers up your Snorlax a lot easier. As you can tell, Yveltal and Darkrai both benefit from DCE as well. So I usually put them in. So I run 4 DCEs. Let's move these things a little bit over so you can see. 4 DC, these are my Pokemon, these are the energy. And how many energy am I? Now, efficiently, I tried this deck already a couple times. I really like the Dark Energy and run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If I remember. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, sorry, just 8. I can't count right now. So I run 8 energy, and you know what? With the amount of the DC right now, I think that's sufficient amount of energy. So that's 8 energy right here that I usually run. Now, how do I get this energy out? First of all, let's go to the supporters that I run about, I'll just show you right away. How many? I usually run, first of all, a random receiver, just in case I get stuck on anything. I'll put that on the side because that's an item. Now, as you can see right here, my Sycamore. critical to any deck in current standard format, I only run 3, contrary to a lot of people like to run 4, because I don't like to discard too many of my cards. So I have 3 Sick Motion here, very useful, draw 7 cards straight away, and I run actually just 3 Yang as well, just to get that card back, because sometimes Snorlax with a heavy attack, you get fall behind. That's where this card comes in, Ace Trainer. If you have more price one, meaning you're falling behind because your opponent knocks out some of your Pokemon, it's bound to happen with a Snorlax deck because it takes its time to set up. I play this card just to sometimes disrupt my opponent's deck in case they can't draw as many cards. I just leave 1 in there. Pokemon Center Lady, sometimes when Snorlax falls asleep, I needed to wake up to do a GX attack. Always good for heal and remove the condition. So I leave 1 in there. And last but not least, the newest card, Pokemon Ranger. Sorry, just 2 more cards. Pokemon Ranger right here, with a lot of attacks that shuts down people that can't attack. I usually leave 1 in there as well for situational. And last but not least, I just take 1 Line Center into my deck. You'll see why, but these are the supports. So how many supports are there? 3, 3, 6, and 4 right here. I have 10 supporters in total. So sometimes 1/6 of the deck. Sometimes you can't draw out the one you want. I usually leave a random receiver in there. Now, a lot of people ask, of course, Snorlax, you fall asleep, how do you wake up to do a pulverizing pancake? And here's where the stadium comes in effect. I run 4 of these because I play sometimes, I lose out to some people that has 4 stadium, and then my Snorlax is just over. What do these do on that party? So once before a player's turn, if it's asleep, you can remove that condition and also heal 30. So that working synergy with this. Basically, if you want to put both Pokemon to sleep, you could wake your Snorlax up, heal 30 from it, and just do either the pulverizing pancake or just a normal collapse. It works both ways, but of course the downside is the opponent also gets to heal for 30. But you know what? By the time you're set up already, your opponent should be there. 1-hit KO if you're using this card right. You shouldn't worry about your opponent waking up. So I run 4 of these. Stadium is very crucial in the current format, so I think 4 is the right way to go. Now here comes the tech cards that I usually use, and I run 4 Fighting Fury Bell. Now these Fighting Fury Bell, extra HP, put that onto a Snorlax, you get 230 HP. Not a lot of Pokemon will be able to knock that out. So I run 4, but you know what? I might play around with the Bursting Balloon because Snorlax with the extra 40 HP doesn't really, I wouldn't say it's that substantial that it affects the game that much, but the extra 10 damage, considering it does 210 damage, 180, it knocked out a lot of Pokemon already. So I'm thinking maybe I'll run 2 Fighting Fury Bell with 2 Bursting Balloons, because Snorlax is such a heavy hitter and also he could take a lot of hits. Why not put some Bursting Balloon out there? So just, try it out. That's the fun thing about building decks. You can do whatever you like. So that's 4 Fighting Fury Bell. Now, as I was saying earlier, I have 8 energy with double colorless. Snorlax, I like to put it on the bench with Yveltal Darkrai in the front, most likely Yveltal. So what do I do for energy when Snorlax in the background? These baby comes in, max elixirs. Crucial to this deck. In my Snorlax, I could basically go a turn 1 if I go second. I have done it before, turn 1, pulverizing pancake for the win. It's basically a 1-hit kill, get 3 of these baby in the first round, hit them, and then hit a switch or escape rope, bam, Pokemon right away. So these are crucial, must have 4 in your deck, or at least I like to have 4. I'll put that on the side right here, and let me just move everything a little over. 4 max elixirs right here, okay? So, you know what, let's put the energy next to my double colors. Sorry guys, just gonna organize this a bit. So, I have a lot more cards. Now, how do we get the Pokemon out? For example, the Hypno, the Snorlax, Yveltal. As you can tell, I don't run Hoopa in this deck because sometimes I don't need that many Pokemon on the bench, especially one Snorlax will take a lot. I like to get my Pokemon out with Ultra Ball. Always good, and we're still hunting for that secret rare. Ultra Ball and Level Ball, just to get my Hypno and also Drowsy out. So 4 I find it's quite good already. You could run a bit more, but I find it quite satisfied with just 4 right now. Now, as you can tell, we run 10 supporters and sometimes you get stuck. Now, what do we do for tech items? We run Versus Seekers. Now, I'm thinking of running a bit more with the current format, like for Lil and also for Professor Kukai. So I might consider running 4. Right now I have 2, 1, 2, and 2 Trainer Mail. Once again, trainer mail, it's a hit or miss sometimes. You get the one you want or you don't get the one you want, but these are two amazing cards you have to have in your deck. So I run a 2-2, which I find right now it's quite sufficient already. And a few more cards to run out the deck. Now, I run 2 switch, like I said earlier. Snorlax has a heavy retreat, and sometimes you want to get it to the front to attack. You can't retreat. I run 2 switch, very useful. Now sometimes you get the energy back because Snorlax doesn't get knocked out that much. You can want a super rod to get your energy back. Escape rope once again to get your Pokemon back to switch with the front for Snorlax in the back. I run Evo Sword. Now this card you can either put in or take out, it's up to you, because I usually like to use it if I get stuck drawing cards and I can't draw or a Hypno to evolve my Drowsy. But most of the time I find that I could just draw the Hypno right away, something gets stuck in my hand. So this card sometimes I don't really like, I'll probably take it out, but I run it right now just to show you guys. Now if your DC goes out, it's heavy cost, you have to run a special charge. You shuffle 2 special energy bond into your deck. Have to at least have one of it. And our final 2 card is a town map. I like to see what my prices are in case that way it allow me to more utilize to know how many cards are left in my deck. So town map, something. But if you're really pro, you look through your deck every time you're searching for a card, you know exactly what you're missing. So this card is either hit or miss sometimes. Really like. But town map I like to put. And finally, a float zone. For example, if I Lysander my Hypno out, I got put 2 energy to retreat it, I'd rather just put a float zone. So as you can tell, one card that I did not put in here that I really should is Skyla. So I'm thinking maybe taking out, sometimes I would like to take out Evo Soda to put a Skyla in it. I could go for Max Elixir. I could either go Fine Fury Bell Float Zone, sell one of those cards. Pokemon Center late because I have enough heals. I might consider taking that out. But you know what? Sometimes if you're paralyzed, you can't do anything, you just need that card. So what I'm planning to do is, because the Sun and Moon is coming up, I'm going to tweak this deck a bit, but I think this is going to be my main hitter. I mean, I do have a Greninja deck in which I show you guys later, but I think this is a lot of fun, especially since Snorlax is our nation, right? So you know what guys, thank you for tuning in today. I'll show you some deck battles so you can see how exactly this deck runs. It's really fun. Go and get yourself some Snorlax GX and have some fun in battles. So thank you so much for staying tuned. Thank you so much for staying tuned to our episode today, our deck analysis. If you guys have anything, please leave a like or comment, and best of all, please subscribe to Nation so we can make this guy right here look at me so happy. The biggest and the best nation out there in the world. Thank you so much. Take care.